December 5th, 1872. The Atlantic Ocean, thousands of miles from shore. A merchant brig drifts across calm water. Her sails are raised, but not correctly. Some flap wildly, others hang loose. She moves aimlessly, like something is guiding her from far away. Another ship notices. Its captain narrows his eyes. Something isn't right. Ships don't wander like this. Not in open water. Not without purpose. Captain David Morehouse orders a closer look. Signals are raised. No answer. A warning cannon is fired. Silence. Still, no movement. No one appears on deck. The ship simply continues drifting, as if everyone aboard had vanished. Morehouse sends a boarding party. They climb over the rail, expecting panic, expecting disease, expecting death. Instead, they find something far worse. Nothing. No captain, no crew, no passengers, not a single body. The meals were unfinished, the cargo untouched, the crew's belongings remained. Even the ship's cat was gone. No signs of violence, no struggle, only questions. Questions that have survived for more than 150 years. Because sometimes the most terrifying mystery isn't who died. It's who simply stopped existing. Here, at the missing ledger, we reopen the case. The ship wasn't cursed, at least not at the beginning. She was built in 1861 in Nova Scotia, originally named Amazon. Her early years were troubled. Her first captain died shortly after taking command. She suffered several accidents. She changed owners multiple times. Eventually, she received a new name, Mary Celeste, a fresh beginning, or so everyone believed. Her new captain was Benjamin Spooner Briggs, 40 years old. Respected, experienced, religious, known as calm under pressure. Friends trusted him completely. So did his crew. Briggs wasn't traveling alone. His wife, Sarah, joined the voyage. So did their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia. Their young son remained ashore with relatives, a painful decision, but common for long voyages. 7 experienced sailors completed the crew. Every man had a clean reputation. No known conflicts, no criminal history. Nothing unusual. Their cargo seemed ordinary. More than 1,700 barrels. Industrial alcohol, highly flammable, bound for Genoa, Italy. On November 7th, 1872, Mary Celeste departed New York. Only 8 days later, another merchant vessel left the same harbor, the Dei Gratia. Her captain was David Morehouse. Curiously, Morehouse personally knew Briggs. The 2 captains had reportedly shared dinner before departure. Neither man knew their paths would cross again under impossible circumstances. For nearly a month, both ships crossed the Atlantic independently. Then, everything changed. The final official log entry aboard Mary Celeste was dated November 25th, near the Azores. After that, the journal ended, the crew vanished, and history opened one of its darkest files. The boarding party stepped aboard. Cautiously, weapons drawn. Silence surrounded them. Not the peaceful kind. The unnatural kind. Every cabin was inspected. No bodies, no injured survivors, nothing. The captain's cabin looked organized. Personal papers remained. Furniture stood upright. Beds appeared, recently used. There were children's toys, clothing, books. Everything looked interrupted, not abandoned. The galley contained food. Some reports suggested meals had been prepared. Others disputed that detail. What investigators agreed upon was simpler. The crew had not packed for a long escape. Most personal possessions remained aboard. The cargo was still secured. Nearly every barrel remained in place. Nothing indicated piracy. Pirates steal valuables. Mary Celeste still carried hers. Jewelry remained untouched. Money remained untouched. Navigation equipment, however, was missing. So was the ship's chronometer, its sextant, and its only lifeboat. Those items mattered because they suggested one thing. Someone intentionally left. They didn't simply disappear. The pumps were examined. One appeared, partially dismantled. Captain Briggs may have believed the vessel was taking on dangerous amounts of water. Yet, later inspections revealed something surprising. There wasn't much water inside, not enough to sink her, not even close. The ship remained seaworthy. Damaged, yes. Doomed, not according to later experts, which raises another question. Why abandon a perfectly floating ship in the middle of the Atlantic? Investigators searched for answers. Instead, they found contradictions. The lifeboat was gone. Its ropes appeared cut, or perhaps hastily released. Accounts differ. Either way, the small boat never resurfaced. One long rope still trailed behind the ship. Some historians believe Briggs tied the lifeboat to Mary Celeste, planning only a temporary evacuation. If that rope snapped, everything changed. The larger ship would continue drifting. The lifeboat would disappear forever. Then came another detail. 9 barrels of alcohol were empty. Not because they had leaked overboard, because they had seeped vapor. Those particular barrels were made from porous red oak. The remaining barrels were white oak. They stayed sealed. That difference mattered. Alcohol vapor is invisible, highly explosive, and terrifying. Imagine standing inside a wooden ship, smelling fumes, not knowing whether the next spark would destroy everyone. Would you wait, or would you leave? There was another mystery. The ship's log. It ended 10 days before discovery, meaning Mary Celeste drifted hundreds of miles after the final entry. No one knows what happened during those missing days. Those pages never existed or never survived. For investigators, that missing timeline became the true crime scene. A crime scene without victims, without witnesses, without suspects. When news reached shore, the theories exploded. Some accused Captain Morehouse. Insurance fraud, murder, conspiracy. After all, his crew found the ship. They received salvage money. Suspicious? Certainly. Supported by evidence? Not really. A lengthy inquiry found no proof. No hidden wealth, no secret agreement, no bodies, nothing connected. Morehouse, to foul play, the accusations slowly collapsed. Another theory suggested mutiny. Perhaps the crew rebelled. Perhaps Briggs lost control. Again, the evidence resisted. Nothing was stolen, no blood, no damaged cabins, no signs of violence. The Briggs family was respected. There was no known motive. Then came the alcohol theory. Perhaps vapors escaped. Pressure built inside the hold. Captain Briggs feared an explosion. He ordered everyone into the lifeboat, just temporarily, far enough away to stay safe. Then, a gust of wind, a snapped line. The ship escaped. The people didn't. This explanation gained support over time, especially after controlled experiments showed alcohol vapors could create explosive pressure without leaving burn marks. Yet, questions remained. Why leave so quickly? Why abandon fresh water? Why leave a stable vessel? Why trust a tiny lifeboat over an ocean-going brig? Other theories became darker. Seaquakes, waterspouts, rogue waves, giant squid, pirates, secret government missions, even supernatural forces. Each captured imaginations. None survived serious scrutiny. The greatest enemy wasn't the unknown, it was the lack of evidence. Every theory solved one problem and created two more. More than a century has passed. The Atlantic has kept its silence. No confirmed remains of Captain Briggs. No trace of Sarah. No sign of little Sophia. No recovered lifeboat. Only an abandoned ship, still sailing through history. Mary Celeste eventually returned to service. She crossed oceans again, as though nothing had happened. Years later, she met an entirely different fate. Intentionally wrecked during an insurance fraud attempt. A strange ending for a ship already surrounded by impossible stories. But that final chapter solved nothing, because the true mystery never belonged to the ship. It belonged to the people. Imagine standing alone on that empty deck, the wind pushing the sails, the sea perfectly calm, the captain's journal suddenly ending, children's belongings still resting inside the cabin, the crew simply gone. No screams, no wreckage, no farewell, just absence. History often leaves behind bones, letters, weapons, confessions. The Mary Celeste left something far more unsettling. A complete disappearance, without a confirmed ending. Perhaps there was no monster beneath the waves, no pirate attack, no ghost. Perhaps fear alone was enough. Enough to make 10 people abandon safety. Enough to erase an entire family from history. Or perhaps the Atlantic witnessed something that never made it into the official record. And somewhere beneath those endless waves, the final page still waits, unwritten, unread, missing.